Hi everybody, welcome to biology class. In previous class we have completed about pollination and now we are starting with fertilization. Okay, we are starting with fertilization. Okay, in pollination we discussed that the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma is known as pollination. Is known as pollination. In pollination, that pollen grain has to reach to the stigma, right? In pollination the pollen grain comes and reaches to the stigma. It comes and reaches to the stigma. Then this pollen grain which is present in the stigma will produce will generate or produce a pollen tube. It will generate a pollen tube. This pollen tube which is generated from the stigma, it runs all along the style. It runs all along the style. That means the pollen tube runs through the style and reaches to the ovule and through this pollen tube the pollen grain which contains the male sex cell comes and gets inside the ovule. Now it gets inside the ovule, and inside the ovule we have what? The female sex cells. Female sex cells. So these female sex cells present in the ovule will fuse together with the male sex cells carried by the pollen grains. Carried by the pollen grains. Hence this fusion of male sex cells and female sex cells of a flower is known as what? Fertilization. The fusion of male sex cells with female sex cells to produce what? Zygote is known as fertilization. The first step of fertilization, it is zygote. The first step after fertilization, the first form structure is known as what? Zygote. So fertilization is what? The fusion of fertilization is the fusion of male sex cell male sex cells and female sex cells to form zygote. Zygote is known as what? Fertilization. Is known as fertilization. What is fertilization? The fusion of male sex cells and female sex cells to form what? Zygote is known as fertilization. And this zygote is what? Zygote is nothing but the fusion of male sex cells and female sex cells is known as zygote. It will form what? Zygote. It will form zygote. The first step of fertilization is known as zygote. So fusion, here you might be having doubt what is meant by fusion. Fusion is nothing but the mixing of male sex cell with female sex cell. That is known as fusion. So this fusion will finally generate what? Zygote, or this fusion will produce zygote. So this zygote is formed first in the fertilization. It is formed first in the fertilization. So this is the female reproductive part, right? This is the female reproductive part, and let us label it. Let us label it. So this is going to be the stigma. This is known as stigma, and this is known as style. This is known as style, and here you can see it is ovary. The swollen structure, it is ovary. Swollen structure is ovary, and inside the ovary we have what? This ovule. We have ovule. So this is going to be the ovule. So ovule also contains the sex cells or female sex cells. So this is for female reproductive cells. So these are the cells. So these are female sex cells. These are female sex cells. So in pollination we said that pollen grains reaches to the stigma. Okay, pollen grain reaches to the stigma by the process of pollination. So this reached, okay, or this pollen grain which is present in the stigma is now going to generate what? Pollen tube. It is going to generate pollen tube. Okay, and this tube is known as what? Pollen tube. So this tube runs all along the style. It runs all along the style and reaches to the ovule, and it reaches to the ovule. Okay, and this pollen tube running all through the style, reaching to the ovule, it is also carrying what? The male sex cells. Okay, it is also carrying the male sex cells present in the pollen grain. Now this is pollen grain. Okay, this is pollen grain containing, okay, containing what it contains? Containing male sex cell. Okay, containing male sex cell. So pollen grain contains male sex cell, and this ovule, it contains female sex cell. So this male sex cell and female sex cell, they fuse together to form what? Zygote. To form zygote. Hence this process is known as fertilization. Okay, it is known as fertilization. So here, okay, you can see the tube runs all along the style and reaches to the ovule, and inside the ovule we find the female sex cells. Okay, female sex cells. So this pollen grain, okay, generates pollen tube. Okay, generates pollen tube, and this pollen grain also, okay, carry what? The male sex cells. Okay, this pollen tube now carries that male sex cells and deposits. Okay, let us understand like this. So this male sex cells is carried by the pollen tube and it gets deposited into the ovule. Now in the ovule, okay, sorry, in the ovule, what is present? The female sex cell. Okay, female sex cell. So this female sex cells plus male sex cells, okay, they undergo what? They undergo fusion. So this fusion is known as zygote. Okay, this fusion will generate what? Zygote. Okay, this fusion will generate zygote. So this process is known as fertilization. Okay, this process is known as fertilization. So once again, in order to remove confusion, okay, let us focus here. The fusion of male sex cells and female sex cells to form what? Zygote. It is known as fertilization. So now I hope you understood. Okay, you understood all this structure and how this pollen tube generates. Okay, and how the pollen grain is going to carry the male sex cells. Okay, and in ovule, what is present? It is female sex cell. So they both together they undergo fusion. Okay, so this process is known as fertilization. So after fertilization, what happens to the flower? Okay, what happens to the flower? Now we will be discussing. So after fertilization, the floral parts, calyx, corolla, okay, and stamens, okay, calyx, corolla and stamens, they are going to wither off. Okay, they are going to wither off. That means they are going to fall off. So after fertilization, what happens? Okay, after fertilization, okay, the calyx, okay, the floral parts, they get withered away. Okay, they get withered away. So after fertilization, the floral parts wither away. Okay, wither away. That means floral parts means which ones? Okay, which are the ones? They are calyx, okay, corolla, okay, calyx, corolla, and even the stamens, or okay, even the androecium. androecium. Okay, androecium is going to fall off or wither away. So androecium, it consists of anther plus stem, anther plus filament, right? Anther plus filament, and we also call this as stamen. Okay, we also call it as stamen. So this is male reproductive part. Okay, only the female reproductive part remains here. Okay, only the female reproductive part remains here. So calyx, they are the sepals. Calyx, they are the sepals. Corolla, they are the petals. Okay, they are the petals. So all these floral parts, they are going to fall off after fertilization. Okay, after fertilization, they are going to fall off or wither away. Then what happens here? The ovary that is present, the ovary that is present is going to turn into a fruit. Okay, after fertilization, the ovary turn, okay, ovary gets, okay, or ovary will turn into a fruit, and the ovule, okay, ovule, they will turn into seeds. Okay, ovule, they turn into seeds. So now we understood that after fertilization, ovary turns into fruit and ovules, they turn into seeds. So what happens after fertilization? Okay, the floral parts, they are going to wither away or they are going to fall off, just like calyx, corolla and androecium, and the remaining part, that is ovary. Ovary is going to turn into fruit. Okay, ovary is going to turn into a fruit. Okay, so ovary turns into a fruit. Okay, turns into a fruit, and ovules, okay, ovules, okay, ovules turn, okay, ovules turn into seeds. Ovules turn into seeds. Okay, so ovary turns into fruit. Okay, turns into fruit. That means what is fruit now? Fruit is the ripened part of a ovary. Okay, it is the ripened part of a ovary. So ovary develops into fruit and ovules, they develop into seeds. Okay, they develop into seeds. Now you can clearly observe the fruit here. Okay, the fruit here, it is formed from the ovary. It is formed from the ovary. So the ovary that is present is going to form fruit. Okay, it is going to form fruit, and the ovule that is present, they are going to convert into seeds. Okay, they are going to convert into seeds. When? After fertilization. Okay, after fertilization, all this process takes place. So as I told you, the ovary is going to turn into fruit. Okay, it is going to turn into fruit, and ovules, they are going to turn into seeds. Okay, now what is a fruit? Okay, now what is a fruit, or what are fruits? Okay, what are fruits? So fruits, okay, fruits are, okay, or the ripened, okay, or the ripened part, okay, ripened part of the ovary. Okay, it is the ripened part of the ovary. Okay, containing pericarp, containing a pericarp. Okay, it is going to contain a pericarp. Pericarp is of again three types. Okay, pericarp is of again three types. We will be discussing. So the ripened part of a ovary or of the ovary containing a pericarp and seeds. Okay, and seeds. So that is fruit. So fruit is nothing but the ripened ovary. Okay, which contains the pericarp. Okay, which contains the pericarp, and the seeds are found inside the fruit. So this is known as fruit. Okay, seeds are most probably they are found inside the fruit. Or we can also call like this, or we can also say it as like this. Okay, fruit is a ripened ovary. Okay, fruit is a ripened, okay, ripened ovary. Okay, with a pericarp, and seeds, with a pericarp and seeds. That is known as fruit. Okay, what is fruit now? Fruit is a ripened ovary, okay, with a pericarp and seeds. And pericarps are of three types. I am going to tell now. So what is pericarp? Pericarp is the part of a fruit. Okay, pericarp. Okay, pericarp is the part of a fruit. Okay, it is the part of a fruit. Okay, part of a fruit formed from the wall, formed from the wall of ripened ovary. Formed from the wall of ripened ovary. Okay, it is formed from the wall of ripened ovary. So that is pericarp. What is pericarp? Now, pericarp is the part of a fruit. Okay, it is the part of a fruit. It is the part of a fruit formed from the wall of a ripened ovary. It is formed from the wall of a ripened ovary. Or we can also call it as, okay, ovary wall. We can also call it as ovary wall. Okay, to the pericarp we can also call it as ovary wall. Or we can also call it as, okay, fruit wall. We can also call it as fruit wall. Okay, ovary wall or fruit wall. So the pericarp is also known as fruit wall. So the pericarp, okay, the pericarp is also known as what? Fruit wall. Okay, it is also known as fruit wall. Fruit wall. Okay, and this pericarp is of, okay, this pericarp is made up of 3 layers. Okay, it is made up of 3 layers. Pericarp is made up of 3 layers. Okay, 3 layers. So the first layer, okay, the first layer is known as what? Epicarp. The first layer is known as epicarp. That means it is present at the outermost. So it is epicarp. The first layer is known as epicarp, and the middle layer is known as mesocarp. Middle layer is known as mesocarp, and the inner layer, okay, inner layer is known as endocarp. Okay, endocarp, which consists, this endocarp, it contains the seed. Okay, it contains the seed. So endocarp is the layer where seeds are found, and endocarp, they are the innermost layer, okay, of pericarp. So pericarp is of 3 types or 3 layers. Okay, pericarp is of 3 layers. First one is epicarp, which is the outermost layer. Mesocarp, which is the middle layer, and it is very fleshy, right? Okay, it is the fleshy part of the fruit. And the endocarp, that means the innermost layer, which consists seed, or which contains seed. Okay, which contains seed. So these are the, okay, layers of pericarp. These are the layers of pericarp. Okay, what are them? Epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp. Okay, so this is known as pericarp. So pericarp consists 3 layers. So the pericarp may be thin or thick. Okay, this pericarp layer may be, okay, it may be thin. Okay, it may be thin, found in some fruits, and it may be thick, found in some fruits. Okay, found in some fruits. So pericarp mainly is found as thin layer or thick layer. Okay, thin layer or thick layer. And in some of the fruits, okay, in some of the fruits, this pericarp is not seen clearly. It is not seen clearly. That means they are not distinctive. Okay, this pericarp is not distinctive in some of the fruits. Okay, because they remain dry. Okay, this pericarp, they remain dry. Okay, so pericarp is not distinctive in some of the fruits. Okay, so based on the presence of pericarp, okay, based on the presence of pericarp, there are fruits which are soft and even, okay, fleshy. So fruits may be, okay, fruits may be soft and fleshy. Okay, soft and fleshy. So which fruits can be soft and fleshy? Okay, examples. Okay, mango. Okay, Here you can see mango and even orange. Okay, even orange. Okay, even pear fruit. Okay, pear fruit and even okay chiku and even chiku. These are some of the fruits which are having soft and fleshy. Okay, soft and fleshy fruits. These are the fruits. Okay, they are of soft and fleshy. That means the pericarp is having the pericarp. Okay, that means the pericarp is soft. The pericarp layer is very soft and fleshy, and there may be fruits which are okay having hard. Okay, which are very hard. Fruits may be of hard. Okay, fruits may be hard because of the pericarp. Okay, so which are those fruits? They are hard. So now hard fruits. Here we talked of soft and fleshy fruits, and now if we see hard fruits, okay, best example is coconut. Okay, they are very hard, and even walnut. Okay, they are very hard, and okay, and even almond. Okay, almond, they are having very hard. So based on the softness and hardness of the pericarp, fruits are divided into soft fruits and hard fruits. So these are the examples. Okay, these are the examples of hard fruits. Okay, and these are the examples of soft fruits. So examples of soft fruits are mango, orange, pear, and even chiku. And hard fruits, okay, coconut, walnut, and even almond. They are very hard. And we know that okay, fruits they store food. Okay, fruits. Okay, fruits they store food and they protect the seed that is present inside. Okay, so fruits. What they do? Fruits. Okay, usually okay they store food. They store food and even okay and even these fruits they protect the seeds. Okay, they protect the seeds that are present inside. Okay, not only that, these fruits also help in seed dispersal. Okay, seed dispersal. So what is seed dispersal? Okay, so seed dispersal is the transfer of seed from one place to another place. Okay, through different, it may be through animals. Okay, it may be through different animals. For example, birds. Okay, eating the fruits and carrying the seeds from one place to other place. Okay, they help in seed dispersal. So seed dispersal is nothing but transfer of seeds from one place to another place. That's why we find in some areas mango trees, okay, or all other trees, and in the same way these trees that are found in a certain regions, they are also found in different areas. Why? Because these seeds are carried from one place to other place. Okay, one place to other place. That process is known as seed dispersal. So fruits also help in seed dispersal. They help in storing the food and they help in protecting the seeds. So these are the points we should keep in mind. Okay, these are the couple of information that we should keep in mind when we are talking about fertilization. Okay, when we are talking about fertilization. And in the next class we will be meeting with another topic known as the seed. Okay, thank you.